rookie free safety Brian Dawkins would get the first pick of his NFL career, while the most versatile early in the third quarter. With the Panthers deep in Philadelphia territory, helped close out a very impressive win against a Carolina team that would get to the NFC Championship game.
He is hit. He loses the football. The Eagles have it. The Eagles have it. Brian Dawkins.
Eagles who staked their claim. They made the game's biggest play on both.
Philadelphia Freedom with a score of 14-3, 3rd and 20. Craig Erickson, zip. O.J. McDuffie had a big day, 36 yards and a first down. Third quarter, still 13-7, Skins. Terry Allen breakthrough, 17 yards. Third straight year that Allen has gained 1,000 yards. What a great story, his comeback from his knee surgeries. Same drive, 2nd and goal. And this is Asher again. And sometimes he was great, sometimes he was horrible.
And 8. Blitz. Justin throws complete, Stabline with a catch, and he is body slammed by the rookie Brian Dawkins. Ouch.
And lock into him. Mamula's got to get his hands off. Good job by Stabline. Look at that. I mean, his momentum carried him 4 yards.
Second half, Cannell back to pass. Brian Dawkins steps in front of Chris Callaway, and he is gone. All 5 touchdowns, the result of quarterback turnovers, 21-14.
Today, a Ziggy Stardust 3-yard run, 28-14 Skins. But Brian Dawkins picks off the Hogs, and look, he will run it back to the 42-yard line.
An NFL All-Rookie selection in 1996, Brian Dawkins has developed into a force at free safety. Last season, he had a hand in almost every defensive play, ranking among the team leaders in tackles, interceptions, and forced fumbles. A trip to the Pro Bowl tangibly within his grasp, Dawkins and his counterparts at cornerback will seek to repeat their league-leading performance against the pass in 1999.
Offense last year. Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake, and the Cards made the playoffs last year, but his thumb contributed to 3 picks in the first half. They didn't really want him to do this with a 13-3 lead. No, it's picked off by Brian Dawkins. He's gone to the races. 67 yards. Just keep running in there. Don't turn around yet. Touchdown Eagles, and they're in it 13-10. Natural goals for Mario. Miami record at 16-10. 16-13 with 2:50 to go. It's a fumble by Cecil Collins. Jimmy Johnson. Hair not perfect as Brian Dawkins.
The Eagles divided and conquered Chicago. Brian Dawkins fueled that pressure, repeatedly hurrying Bledsoe. When the Patriots quarterback was able to throw, Dawkins was there to swat away any attempts at the end zone. The win knocked the Patriots out of the playoffs for the first time in 4 years.
Let's go. We got to go in 60 minutes. 60 minutes. We dominate the game, baby. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense. Okay, baby.
The key to the Eagles' defense all season was all-pro safety Brian Dawkins. Dawkins had the best year of his career and was the Eagles' defensive MVP.
It's intercepted by Dawkins at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Brian Dawkins is going all the way in for a touchdown.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought we would be right here, baby?
On the line, every play of every game.
Next play, next series, Titans looking to answer. Steve McNair intercepted. Brian Dawkins, picked up the fumble. 88 yards. He was running like people were chasing him. They were. You can't see him there, though. McNair, 18 of 24, 151 yards, an interception and a fumble.
Down on the ground for no gain, and then later on in the same quarter, again, Dylan and Brian Dawkins coming up from the defensive back.
Except for the Cowboys at the 11. Cunningham, early second. Little pressure. Thinks he's throwing it out of the end zone, but Brian Dawkins, Pro Bowler last year. Free throw line, but Andy Reid watches his defense sack Jake Plummer and Dave Brown 8 times. Plummer sacked by Brian Dawkins out of the secondary.
Points in the NFC. They ranked 5th in the. No quarterback was safe as Johnson's attack-style defense against the Chargers in Week 12.
They pitch it to Tomlinson. He fumbles the football. It is scooped up by Dawkins. 35-30, 25-20. He's at the 15, the 10-5. Touchdown, Brian Dawkins!
You developed into a heck of a player, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, baby.
Keep doing it, okay?
All right. Take care, man.
In 2001, safety Brian Dawkins received praise from his peers and bashed his way to a second Pro Bowl appearance.
Take along the drive between the two stadiums. Still fans of both teams there watching Tony Banks with a 3-0 lead, hitting Rod Gardner, the rookie receiver, and Brian Dawkins makes a saving tackle and saved the touchdown, held him to a field goal. Skins trying to get back in it. Banks to Walter Rasby, loses his helmet as Dawkins can hit with the best of them, but he makes the catch, Tom.
Yeah, you take another look at it here and you see the ball right there tip. Rasby, great job of bringing it in, and then he had to take a lick as he was down on the ground. He did walk off under his own power, though.
But 2 plays later, Dawkins, you saw him save a touchdown. That could have been a touchdown there. First he does it with the tackle, then he does it with the pick. The Eagles have good DBs and their defense.
Including the one that iced Philly's 9th win of the year.
And it is intercepted! It is intercepted by Brian Dawkins, who's second of the game!
2nd and 5. Warner, the hand up to Falk. Brian Dawkins blitzing and loss. Warner. Dakimi drilled by Dawkins and Bobby Taylor. Jeff Wilkins.
Late in the half, Redskins on the move. Shane Matthews crushed on the throw by Brian Dawkins. Pass ball's incomplete. Matthews gets up slowly. Did not play in the second half.
Suddenly they scored a TD in 9 quarters. No wonder Carr's so upset. But pocket collapses. I have a theory about Darwin Walker. He's playing very well in place of the injured Hollis Thomas. And Brian Dawkins recovers. The Eagles punting. And watch the up man Brian Mitchell shovel it to Brian Dawkins. And Doc, the Pro Bowler, is going to score a touchdown. They do this against every team, even expansion Houston trick plays.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty simple play, but watch Brian Dawkins as he comes across. That's Brian Mitchell furthest away from us. He stumbles, Dawkins does. He almost falls down, still gets the perfect pitch from Brian Mitchell. And you see the celebration by Brian Mitchell. Dawkins still 40 yards away from the end zone.
He's been around. And on the 42-yard play, down 13-7. Brad Johnson looking for Keyshawn. Oh, he can't hold on. Brian Dawkins, the Pro Bowl safety. Good coverage. Michael Lewis keeps Philly in the game with a hit on Mungro inside the red zone. Brian Dawkins recovers for Philadelphia.
For a screen, first to the 46.
You know where that comes from?
Where?
I don't know.
3rd down and 10 where the Niners have excelled this year, but not here. They'll come up well shy. Catch made by Owens, tackled by Dawkins. Far from that, nothing. 3rd and 7, and then there's a bad snap in the shotgun. All the way back to the 10 is Garcia, and Garcia is able to get it away to avoid the sack at the 9-yard line.
Too many memories. Stephen Davis on the carry, Tom. The ball knocked loose by Brian Dawkins.
I don't have it.
I ain't got it. Don't hit me no more, as Sterling would say. Davis, though, would not return. He suffered a separated shoulder. Ramsey looking to the end zone. He finds Chris Doring from Florida. On the Steve, one of the old ball coach's old boys. Doring's only catch. Nice. Ooh, took a lick at that.
And we took a deep breath. 7-3 Eagles, Brad Johnson. It's Joe Juravicius, who didn't practice all week to be with his wife and newborn son, who was in poor health. And what does he do? Come up with the 2nd longest play in Bucs playoff history.
It's going to go down in Tampa Bay history.
After missing 8 games with a fractured foot, safety Brian Dawkins returned to the lineup. At 6-3, the Eagles were on a roll, and confidence levels were rising.
Force 11 loses a yard. 2nd and goal. Final 2 minutes of the half. Collins knocked down by Bryant. Let's go for it. Tiki Barber. Pitch. Carlos Evans. Brian Dawkins. Eagles defense stuff him. 14-3. It remains.
Ricky Williams, he can run a little bit too. Busts it, 45 yards, his longest run this year. Set up a Travis Minor touchdown, but some issues for Ricky. Suffered an injured left shoulder. As we take another look, he did return though. Little gimpy coming off.
We're tied at 17.
In the extra period, Favre delivered a gift from on high.
He is firing deep. Brian Dawkins interception. B-Dawk just made a huge play.
On every phase, God Dawkins, we gonna dominate this thing. Respect is not given, it is earned, God Dawkins. DB Love, and give me a slide on 3. 1, 2, 3, DB Love. Well, now we having fun, baby. Now we having fun. Now we having fun.
On second down, Favre. Bubba Franks picked off, and it's Dawkins who gets Favre again. Dawkins got him in the January playoff game to set up the winning field goal. And playing center field here, he comes up with the interception. That's his 3rd of the year.
Clinch the victory.
Ramsey is back. Ramsey going downtown, and it is intercepted by Brian Dawkins in the corner of the end zone.
Philadelphia got an ugly win and a beautiful gift, a first-round playoff bye.
Mr. Brian Dawkins, I think he takes that challenge from Randy Moss. I think he's waiting on that downfield, and he's going to play some of those deep balls that are going to end up in the hands of the Eagles.
Ball in flight. Hand off Bennett. Michael Bennett with a big gain down inside the 45. Blitz. Culpepper lost the football, able to get back on top of it, but the ball is all the way back outside the 30, and they are outside field goal range now for Morton Anderson. So the question is, do you run Jose Cortez out to try to kick the field goal? And Brian Dawkins comes on the blitz. They bring Backer as well. That's 4 weak, and you just cannot pick that up. Dante Culpepper never sees it, and this is where at times his ability to scramble will hurt his football team, because rather than get rid of it, he tries to outrun it, and he loses a lot of yards.
Then it was Brian Dawkins' turn.
Bryce heads down the field. Vic throws back center of the field. Caught Crippler. Oh, he held on and took Dawkins. Big hit at the 10.
Dawkins doesn't get over in time enough to pick the football, but what he can do is level a pop, and boy, he does.
Dawkins' broadside sent a message.
Vic wants to throw. He pumps. He fires. Intercepted. Dawkins. Brian Dawkins has himself a pick.
I got a feeling the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
The Philadelphia Eagles, at long last, were champions of the NFC.
Any quarterback in the NFL. Dorwood in motion, and the pass is caught by Arnaz Battle, and Battle with a good run after the catch. And here they come. Dawkins on the pressure, and hitting Orte and knocking him down. No chance there. Arnaz Battle was in the end zone, but Brian Dawkins, who missed some of the action with a twisted ankle last week against the Falcons, came in untouched.
He's your guy that walked in, and there's your situation with a new guy in the lineup, Patrick Estes.
3 interceptions. Orte with a quick toss, caught by Arnaz Battle, but stopped a couple of yards from the first down. A better throw there, and they get more out of that play. On first down, Green pulls it back in and goes down. Patterson was in there. Dawkins, the safety, was coming on a blitz. He was a part of it.
In and out of the tackling going on into the end zone.
Still 10-7 and Brett Favre for Bubba Franks. Franks is hit by Brian Dawkins in this very scary. Franks stays down. And the good news is that X-rays negative. His head collided. A very scary moment as he clearly shaking everybody, hoping that he's okay, because it's such a, we don't have to tell you how scary a moment it is. And there's the extremities he shows. OT Manning hit as he throws. Brian Dawkins is there. 3 picks all late in the game. Rolling away, same score, 4th quarter. But Eli Manning says not so fast. The Plexico Burris, shades of Dave Casper and Pete Banaszak. It's the fumble Ruski kind of sort of. That's a different play.
49ers trailing 24-3. Frank Gore looking for the